we're the sole publisher for L. 1 Hubbard's materials in the Americas, Asia, Australia, and Africa. So in order to produce all these materials, we actually decided and undertook a project in 2006 to bring all manufacturing in-house. The first equipment we had just one Xerox document 1050 and then also one color press, and we had a little small, it was about 4,000 square feet shop which we just started out in. In 2009 we moved to a new facility which we're in now, and that is now a 276,000 square foot facility which houses all of our corporate headquarters as well as our manufacturing facility, which expanded 3 times since 2006, and then all of our delivery and fulfillment as well. We've moved up to where we now have 8 Xerox document 1050s. We have 2 Xerox iGen 3 presses for our color covers, and 2 Xerox Nuvera presses for some smaller black and white text. Well, normally when you hear about digital printing, you think of what they call print on demand, which is not really what Bridge Publications is. A normal print-on-demand printer, their average run length might literally be 1 or 2 titles only. We've actually taken all production internally, so we'll do a small run of a title, let's say in a Norwegian language, maybe at a couple hundred, up to 20,000 run of English books such as Dianetics. So we actually take the digital printing and produce any run length for the same quality, same price, over and over again, no matter what we need to do. There's a couple different quality issues which we had to solve before we started printing high-quality digital books. The first was the clarity of the text that we were printing on our DocuPrints. It was okay, but it had many times before been used mainly for transactional printing, and there was some fuzziness, and it was just not up to the standards we wanted. So we worked with Xerox for a while, and they actually sent out one of their top DocuPrint technicians who spent about a week with us doing a lot of testing on the machines, and he actually made a very simple modification at the end to the lasers that write on the drum, and it gave the exact text that we wanted that was very clear. We've even shown it to some people now, and they say it's more readable and they like it better than offset printing. So we were very happy with that. That actually allowed us to start printing these hardcover books, and I'm told now that when Xerox sells a document machine to another book publisher, that's a standard modification they make to those machines now. Another point that was important to us was the paper that we were printing on, and that is a key element in any manufacturing is your raw materials. When we originally started, we were printing with what would be considered an offset paper, but it was a very nice paper. It had a nice lay flat. We liked the look and feel of it, but it was not running well through our digital presses, the Xerox DocuPrint 1050s. So Xerox actually came out. They have a custom media section, and they analyzed our printing, what we needed for our quality, the exact standards we wanted. We wanted a nice, bright, white paper that still had a nice drape and lay flat if you wanted to study the books, but was also of digital qualities. And they came out, they did testing with us, they took the results back to their labs and worked with different mills, and they literally went down to the exact paper fiber that was needed, the length of fiber, the type of fiber, where the mill was in the United States and so forth, and worked out the exact paper for us, sent us some sample rolls, we tested it, and we actually increased our printing uptime by 30% with this paper. One of the reasons why we chose the Xerox iGen 3 press is due to the sheet size. It actually has the largest digital sheet size in the industry. You can print up to 22.5 inches long on your paper size. So we needed that for our hardcover books. When you have the flap, you have the front and back cover, and the spine size, that's very important. However, one actual important thing is that when we started printing, we found out that even some of our larger sized books, such as in excess of 700 to 750 page count, would not fit on that 22.5 inch sheet. So we had a problem. We actually worked with Xerox, their engineering, and we worked out a modification to the paper infeed tray that allowed us to go up to 23 inches on our sheet. So Xerox had to test that. We tested it for tens of thousands of sheets. It worked totally fine. They then sanctioned it, and now millions of sheets later, we're producing the largest sheet size in the industry, 23 inches on our Xerox iGen press, which allows us to print our most popular titles, such as Dianetics. One of the successful things with the Xerox iGen 3 obviously has good quality printing unto itself, but we have very, very challenging designers who are always pushing the envelope. Not to mention we produce L. 1 Hubbard's books in up to 50 languages. Every single one of those languages has to look exactly the same. We have to get an exact color match to high quality color printouts from our designers. So in conjunction with the Xerox iGen 3, we use what's called a software system called the Oris Color Tuner. Now that allows a software system to calibrate the press and translate the files we get from our designers into the capabilities of the Xerox iGen 3. By doing so, we can take what used to be color matches that would take up to over an hour to do, actually literally take us 5 to 10 minutes now, and we get the same color every single time, bright, vibrant colors, an exact match to our designer proofs no matter what language, no matter what print run. There's a few reasons why we chose digital printing equipment for our manufacturing. One of the foremost reasons is that different run sizes that we needed, which we need to be able to maintain the same cost, the same quality every single time, no matter what language. We originally published L. Ron Hubbard's books in 16 languages in 2007. A year later, we actually ended up publishing 9 of his basic beginning books in 50 languages. So in order to do that, digital printing lent itself to that very well, because we can treat a run of, say, Urdu language the same as a larger run in Spanish or German or Italian, and we can get the same quality every single time, and the unit cost of that book is the same. So it works very well. We also are able to do stock inventory control, where we'll print a certain amount, and we'll put that on the shelf in our delivery area. That will then sell down as we get orders, and when it gets to a very low point, a trigger point, we then reprint that title. Xerox is actually our biggest print partner for sure. Since the beginning, they've worked with us, and as I said in the beginning, we had one Xerox DocPrint 1050 press. That was sort of the start of everything. Since then, we've grown to 8. We've been happy with it every time. They have worked with us many different times over the years to actually push the envelope of specifically digital book printing. And they actually worked with us, our top engineers, to isolate the exact quality points that we needed and to even modify and upgrade the machines in order to get good quality text printing that was very readable and was what we wanted. So we'll continue to work with them, and when we look for new equipment and so forth, we always turn to Xerox, and they analyze what we need and have been very good partners with us.